don't know what this tells us about younger generations, because it doesn't sing true to me. Here we go. A third of Gen Z and millennials are too nervous to order their own food in restaurants, study
Emily,
finds.
I'm surprised that you said Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Oh, this is one of my bugbears.
I'm terribly sorry. It is Gen Z. I just hear Gen Z all the time.
You hear Americans say it all the time.
Yeah.
It's no, I don't know. I'm a Z supremacist when it comes to that sort of language. I don't know. Hearing Z irks me.
Gosh,
no, that made me sound like I'm a Russian supporter, didn't it? That's
yeah,
what
just a little bit.
Me.
So what do you make of this? Why do you think that young people are so nervous that they find it difficult to order their own food in restaurants?
So regrettably, I'm at the older end of Gen Z, and so...
You're still Gen Z?
I'm still Gen Z.
What are you defining as the cut-off here?
Well, it's 97, isn't it? Anyone born after 97 is Gen Z.
Right. I've always referred to myself as a zillennial.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that. I thought the most interesting thing is that if we are to believe it, and I think it's probably a bit exaggerated, these young people are pathologically jealous and envious because it seems they're not afraid to order food because they're some sweet little recluses. They're afraid to order food because they're worried that someone else might order a better dish. And that's not a good sign for this generation.
Surely not.
I think so. I think it has to do with sort of Instagram and showing off. You know, life has become about getting something to show it off rather than to enjoy it.
Oh, my goodness. So could that be the reason, Candice, that younger people don't want to find it difficult to order food?
Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of demographers, and the one that I really like, Neil Howe, he's done a lot of research into millennials and Gen Z, and he said one of the things, the defining characteristics about that generation is they are quite bound by social convention. So they do think a lot about what others think about them, and like the whole concept of FOMO, and we use social media a lot. It's the technology that millennials created, social media. We're a lot less individualistic than Gen X or baby boomers. So maybe that's playing into it a little bit. But I mean, I'm a geriatric millennial. So when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, what is your problem? There is nothing wrong with ordering a meal. I feel completely alienated from it. And I think it's true. I think, you know, these are broad brushstrokes that we paint with these sort of like generational archetypes. But I mean, if you're like me and you were born in the 1980s, and you probably have quite a different outlook than someone who's maybe born in the year 2000.
And this is so interesting because very often people go, oh, millennials, as if that refers to all young people. Some millennials are in their 40s now. And it's well, just about approaching. And it does seem, because I think millennial starts at 1980. But it is interesting that perhaps the difference between millennial and Z is that Generation Z have grown up with technology in front of them. They probably don't remember a time when McDonald's didn't have self-service checkouts.
I know.
And perhaps it is that difference of not needing to interact with humans that means people are afraid of it.
Well, I thought that this initially referred to people with eating disorders who might find it a bit anxiety-inducing when there's all the calories on the menu, but it doesn't seem to be about that. This is about menu anxiety, and one of the things that they say might be causing this is worrying about not being able to pronounce items on the menu. Apparently that is a common cause of concern. And yes, food jealousy as well. Are we just... should some young people, would they prefer to just stay in their rooms and just, you know, keep away from any kind of interaction that could possibly go awkwardly?
I can understand not pronouncing names, by the way. I don't go to French restaurants. I just don't bother.
Because of that reason?
For that reason.
Oh, my goodness, you have to give it a go.
It's a form of, probably, I'm a bit bigoted, but...
Isn't that half the fun, though, as a slightly obnoxious Englishman? You sort of go and turn up and we say Paris, not Paris.
Yeah.
It's,
I just point to a number, 42, so you don't have to pronounce it.
So you're part of the problem.
I am part
You're part of the problem.
My grandfather thought he could speak just about any language in this earth by turning up and saying English slowly and loudly. But perhaps we've lost that sense of confidence. I don't know.
Yes, but maybe that is. I mean, maybe it's true that we're, you know, obviously I'm saying it in a very generalistic way, but maybe, you know, younger people are more bound by social convention. They don't like that judgment of not being able to get something right.